Hello and welcome to Bible Truths Matter. This is where we learn what the Bible really teaches us and not just the traditions of men. Today we're going to explore the Millennium reign of Jesus Christ. The Bible teaches that Jesus is literally coming back to rule the earth for 1,000 years in God's kingdom. Not in heaven, not symbolically, but as king over all the nations, ruling in Jerusalem. We will read some scriptures that will take us from the start to the finish of this 1,000-year reign of Christ. This time period is just the beginning of God's eternal reign here on earth. When will Jesus start his reign? Matthew 24:36, it says, "Yet no one knows the day or the hour when this will be, not even the angels in heaven, nor the Son. Only the Father knows." And then in Matthew 25:13, it says, "So stay alert, because you do not know the day or the hour." So we need to be ready. We don't know the exact time when he will come, but we are to stay alert and ready. There are also signs that you can look for in prophecy to know when it's near. This will help you stay ready and be prepared. I have another video on this if you'd like to look at it, and I will put a link in the description below, and it's called The Last Antichrist. The next to these scriptures will give you a picture of what it will be like when Jesus returns to the earth. In Revelation 1:7, it says, "Look, he is coming with the clouds, and every eye will see him, and even those who pierced him. All of the peoples of the earth will mourn because of him. This will certainly happen. Amen." In Hebrews 9:28, "So the Messiah also, having been offered once to bear the sins of many, will appear a second time, not to bear the sin, but to bring salvation to those who are eagerly waiting for him." In 1 John 3:2-3, "Beloved, we are children of God now, and what we will be has not yet been revealed. We do know that when he is revealed, we will be like him, because we will see him just as he is. Everyone who has that hope in him purifies himself, just as he is pure." This describes that we will be like Jesus, resurrected and changed like him to immortality. Matthew 24:30-31, "Then the sign of the Son of Man will appear in heaven, and all the people of the earth will mourn. They will see the Son of Man coming on the clouds of heaven with power and brilliant majesty. With a trumpet blast, he will send out his angels, and they will gather together his chosen from every direction, from one end of the sky to the other." And in 1 Thessalonians 4:16-17, "For the Lord himself will come down from heaven with a shout of command, accompanied by the voice of the archangel and the trumpet of God, and the dead in Messiah will rise first. Then we who are alive and remain will be caught up together with him in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air. In this way we will always be with the Lord." Luke 21:27-28, "Then we will see the Son of Man coming on the cloud with power and brilliant glory. When these things start to happen, stand up, lift up your heads, because your redemption is about to come." In 1 Corinthians 15:52, "In a moment, in the blink of an eye, at last the trumpet. For the trumpet will sound, and the dead will be resurrected, unable to ever die again, and we will be changed." So when Jesus returns, we will have the first resurrection of the faithful, and it will be very visible. Everyone will know when he arrives. Now we will see that one of the first things he will do is he'll bound up Satan. "Then I saw an angel coming down out of heaven, holding his hand and the key of the abyss and a huge chain. He seized the dragon, the original serpent, who is the devil and Satan, and bound him for 1,000 years. The angel threw him into the abyss, locked it, and sealed it, so that he could not deceive the nations any longer until that 1,000 years were finished, and after that he must be freed for a short time. And then here's where we'll see he starts to rule the nations. When the Son of Man comes in his glory, and all the angels with him, he will sit on his throne of glory. All the nations will be brought before him, and he will separate individuals, one from another, just as a shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. And here in Isaiah, it describes how Jesus will rule with justice. In Isaiah 2:2-3, in the future, the mountain of the Lord's temple will endure as the most important of mountains, and it will be the most prominent of hills. All the nations will stream to it. Many people will come and say, "Come, let us go up to the Lord's mountain, to the temple of God of Jacob, so he can teach us his requirements and we can follow his standards. For Zion will be the center for moral instruction. The Lord will issue etiquettes from Jerusalem." In Isaiah 2:4, he will judge disputes between nations, and he will settle cases for many people, and they will beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nations will not take up sword against other nations, and they will no longer train for war. So here we can see he settles all the disputes, and they're going to turn all their weapons into implements for working the ground, and there will be no more war. Peace will prevail. It will be a glorious day. In Daniel 7:27, then the sovereignty, dominion, and greatness of the kingdoms under all heaven will be given to the people, the saints of the Most High. His kingdom will be an everlasting kingdom, and all the rulers will serve and obey him. So here we see the saints, the Christians, the believers, us, will be ruling with Jesus. And in Luke 22:28-30, you are the ones who stayed with me through my trials, just as my Father covenanted a kingdom to me, I covenant a kingdom to you, that you may eat and drink at my table in my kingdom, where you will sit on thrones governing the 12 tribes of Israel. And here we get a little picture of what life will be like in the kingdom. No longer will a nursing infant live but a few days, or an old man fail to live out his years. For the youth will die at 100 years, and he who fails to reach 100 will be considered accursed. They will build houses and dwell in them, and they will plant vineyards and eat their fruit. No longer will they build houses for others to inhabit, nor plant for others to eat. For as is the lifetime of a tree, so will be the days of my people, and my chosen ones will fully enjoy the works of their hands. In Isaiah 65:23, they will not labor in vain or bear children doomed to disaster, for they will be people blessed by the Lord, and they and their descendants with them. So here we can see the people are blessed. And even the animals will live in peace. Isaiah 65:25. The wolf and the lamb will feed together, and the lion will eat straw like an ox. But the food of the serpent will be dust, and they will neither harm nor destroy on all my holy mountain. Now we're getting towards the end of the 1,000 years, and Satan will be released for a little while. Revelation 20:7-9. When the 1,000 years are finished, Satan will be released from his prison, and he will go out to deceive the nations at the four corners of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together for battle. in a number like they are like grains of the sand of the sea. They went up to the broad plain of the earth, surrounded the camp of the saints and the beloved city. But the fire came down from heaven and completely destroyed them. And then at the very end, we will have the white throne judgment. This is the resurrection of the rest of the dead that were not raised in the first resurrection when Jesus arrived. Revelation 20:11-12. Then I saw a large white throne, and the one who was seated on it. From whose presence the earth and sky fled away, and no place was found for them. And I saw the dead, the great and the small, standing before the throne. The books were opened, and another book was opened, which is the book of life. So the dead were judged by what was written in the books according to their works. And the sea gave up the dead, and the death and Hades gave up the dead in them, and each person was judged according to his works. Then death and Hades were thrown into the lake of fire, and the lake of fire is the second death. If anyone was not found in the book of life, that person was thrown into the lake of fire. Later comes the end. Now he will hand over the kingdom to God, who is the Father, after abolishing all rule, authority, and power. For Messiah is destined to reign until he has put all the enemies under his feet. The last enemy to be abolished is death. So God's kingdom will now continue to reign forever with no more death. Here are the key things that we learned in this video today. Messiah will be ruling from Jerusalem during the millennium. The saints will be ruling with him. Satan will be bound. There will be world peace. There will be healing of the nations and justice. Then Satan will be destroyed, and then we will have the white throne judgment, or the second resurrection. And Jesus will turn everything back over to the Father. You can clearly see these things have not happened yet. We are waiting with anticipation for these days to come. Be ready so you can be there in that first resurrection. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch today. I hope this video encouraged you to stay strong in the faith so you can take part in this wonderful reward. Please put your comments in the section below. Also, if you have not already done so, please subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. And remember to be good Bereans and read the scriptures for yourself. There will be a list of all the scriptures used here in the description below. And until next time, remember that Bible truths matter for your salvation.